The Xbox Series V, the all-digital Xbox with the power of the Series X. Are the rumors true or not? Find out that and much more on this week's dashboard. What is going on, guys? I'm Don't Give a Bit over at My Xbox and Me, where we give you the exclusive Xbox news you truly care about. Now, hopping right into our first segment, Pop Quiz Hotshot. Now, Pop Quiz Hotshot is, of course, where we give you a pop quiz question. You answer it down in the comment section below, and we show you that answer at the end of the episode. Now, this week's question.
Upon release, Halo CE came packaged in with a game demo for another Xbox exclusive. What was the name of that game packaged with Halo CE? A. Dead or Alive 3, B. Fusion Frenzy, C. Arctic Thunder, or D. SSX Tricky? Once you have those answers, go ahead and put those down below in the comment section and we will give you the answer at the end of the show.
Now, like I said, go ahead and drop your answers down in the comment section below. We will give you that answer at the end of the episode. Now, hopping right into this week's Xbox news. The Xbox Series V, we've seen this all over the internet, and is it true? The all-digital edition that's going to have all the power of the Series X? Well, as of right now, there's no confirmation or denying of this box. However, if you look at this picture, one, it's too good to be true, and two, it looks like a poorly done Photoshop. Now, this really comes from the fact that there's a third codename out in the wild for the Xbox Series, and we just don't know where that's supposed to fit in the huge grand scheme of everything. This $400 price point seems way too good to be true, especially since that would be a direct competitor against PlayStation's all-digital model. Now, this isn't to say that this can't be a possibility in the future. Really, all Xbox would have to do is take their Series X edition and rip out the disk drive. Seems like an easy solution. Granted, I'm not an engineer and I don't know if it would actually be that easy, but I can definitely see that coming down the future. However, the question is, if they were to drop that right now, if they were to announce that news right now, would that pose a problem for their Series S? Would that kind of take away from the hype of this budget entry point that we talked about last week? Tell me what you think in the comments below, because at the end of the day, a $400 price point, $300 and $500 price point only helps to serve the customer, and that's what we all want, right? But as of right now, I would probably venture on the side where this rumor's probably more false than anything else. I do think that they are probably going to release a digital model sometime in the future, but as of right now, until I see proof, I'm going with this rumor's false. Now, moving on to something that's more grounded in reality, let's talk about that Series S and Series X box art. The actual box that the consoles come into. That Series X box art is clean. It almost looks like you could hang it on your wall, and a lot of people like to display their console boxes. Sometimes you just like to keep them for storage. Sometimes you like to set them right behind your streamer setup. It's nice to have something that just looks clean, and I really like the look of this Series X. Is it really important in the grand scheme of things? Probably not. But it's just those small things that shows that Microsoft really cares about both the consumer as well as their product. And it's just nice to have. It gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling, you know? Nothing to get crazy hyped over, but also nothing to turn your head at. It's cool. I like it. Speaking of things I like, Microsoft has been upfront with the fact that player data will now be more secure and you will have more control over what is actually sent over to Xbox Team. Now, if you remember, earlier into the Xbox One years, it was discovered that Microsoft was actually tracking your data and sending it out without the player really knowing, and then on top of that, it was actually recording your speeches and transferring them to text, and this was all supposed to be for the player. Well, when people found out, they were not happy about that at all. Well, Microsoft has announced that they will not be doing that. They said that that voice-to-text information was not needed. It didn't give them any positive information that they needed, and all it really did was break their trust with the player. So instead, they took that out completely. Not only that, they actually give you the option to opt into what you want and what you don't want to be sent to the team. That's good. Player security, data information, all that is great stuff for the consumer. I don't really know how to stress the fact that your information is always being sent out by pretty much every company and they don't really tell you about it. So it's nice for Xbox to sit there and say, hey, we got your information, we will control your information, and you can opt in and out of whether you want this information sent out. Now, for the most part, most of this is going to be diagnostic tools, troubleshooting issues, stuff that you want to be sent out over to the team so that way they can do a better job in diagnosing your Xbox's problem or future problems and find out solutions for it. So it's nice that you will have the option to opt in or to opt out and safely know what's happening with your data. Now next we have the XCloud Gaming beta coming to a close and finally being integrated with Game Pass Ultimate. So now you have over 150 games to go ahead and access on your mobile devices right now and enjoy. It's crazy to think that we now live in an age where we can play our Xbox games on our mobile devices. This is fantastic. I don't think I need to hype up Game Pass more than I've already done in past videos, as well as all over the internet. I love Game Pass and the fact that you can now stop your game at your TV, pick up the game on your mobile device and play it elsewhere when you're traveling or when you're sitting in your bed or when you're just slacking off in class. I mean, either way, being able to play your Xbox games on mobile devices anywhere, come on, that is fantastic. All you really need is a Bluetooth controller, but if you don't even want to use a controller, a lot of the games have touch controls, as displayed by the Minecraft Dungeons video. You can have customized touch controls and you can play the game just as easy. Microsoft is doing everything they can to make sure your experience is not hindered at all. And this is fantastic. This is exactly what we want as consumers. And lastly, we have Gamestop announcing a new deal for trade-ins for your Xbox Series X. You can now trade in your Xbox One X and get a Series X for $300. That's the price of a Series S for this $500 console. They are doing a couple trade-in deals. Depending on the type of console you're trading in, you get a different discount on the console that you're trying to purchase. Now this deal is also for the Series S, but of course if you're gonna be trading in a console, more than likely you're aiming for that Series X. Now GameStop has also announced that they will be doing budgeting plans, and this is completely separate from the Xbox All Access plan that we spoke last week about, where you can pick up a Series X or a Series S for $24 a month. All of that is fantastic news. Better for the player, better for the consumer, better for the gamer.
Now, before we get out of here, I wanted to go ahead and give you the answer to the pop quiz question. If you said B, Fusion Frenzy, you were absolutely correct. Fusion Frenzy came packaged in with the original Halo.
Now, before we get out of here, I want to go ahead and ask this question for you. We had the Xbox Series X event last week. We had the PlayStation event this week. Now, I want to know is which console are you picking up first and why is that? Now, I'm not trying to start a console war in here. A lot of us are going to pick up both consoles. We love gaming. But what I want to know is what is it about that specific console that has you wanting to get that first? And are you going to pick up both consoles on the same day? If so, I want to hear about it. Now, if you have any questions for us, I'd love to answer them on the next episode, so feel free to answer any questions related to Xbox down in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, share it to your grandma or someone. That way she doesn't buy the wrong Xbox for the wrong kid, you know? Keep her informed too. Everybody needs to be informed. Help her out, all right? So send this to your grandma. Have a good one.